Ark and Seal. Ark and Seal is a famous theatre troupe hailing from Crossbell State. Their acrobatic and passionate performances continue to draw massive audiences. The troupe's current leading actress, Ilya Plater, is known as the fervent dancer and has multitudes of fans all over the continent. Artifacts. Artifacts are essentially ancient orbments. While both run on orbital energy, they are operated very differently. Because they were likely produced by the ancient Sumerian civilization, proper analysis is currently beyond our technological grasp. Artifacts are occasionally found within ruins across the continent, and many are capable of demonstrating power that exceeds the bounds of human comprehension. The Septium Church has as such defined artifacts as premature gifts from the goddess, and claims responsibility for their collection and control. Bracer Guild. The Bracer Guild is a non-governmental organisation acting to keep the peace and protect civilians wherever its numerous and continent-spanning branches reach. Its members are known as Bracers. Its guiding principle, to put the safety of civilians above all else, is both its greatest strength and a handicap, as it cannot involve itself in political matters unless civilians are directly threatened. Here in Crossbell, many international incidents have attracted strong bracers such as the Divine Blade of Wind, Aros MacLean, who have earned the citizens' support. Calvard Republic. The Calvard Republic lies to the east of Crossbell State and was established after the Democratic Revolution roughly 100 years ago. Its current head of state is President Rocksmith. Calvard is a vast country and, thanks to the long-standing open immigration policies, very culturally diverse. Many immigrants from the east have made Calvard their home. Although it has been significantly less hostile towards Erebonia since the signing of the Non-Aggression Pact, the two nations have been at each other's throats many times over the years. Crossbell State. Crossbell sits on the western side of Zemeria, between the Erebonian Empire and the Calvard Republic. While established as an autonomous state 70 years ago, its two neighbours still dispute its ownership. At its centre lies Crossbell City, one of the continent's key centres of commerce. In addition to being a key station on the Transcontinental Railroad, the city is home to a major international airport. Eastern Quarter, a large-scale district in the Calvard Republic that was founded by migrants from the east. Due to the comings and goings of various cultures, peoples and goods, it is often called the point where east meets west. It is also a well-known tourist destination, its exotic architecture drawing the eye of all who wander its streets. However, lying just beneath that are whispers that a giant Eastern syndicate is headquartered there. The Epstein Foundation is an organisation dedicated to continuing the work of Professor C. Epstein. Its researches and manufactures orbments specialising in information processing and communication. The Epstein Foundation is also the sole manufacturer of battle orbments, which allow their users access to arts. Their recent Orbital Network project also promises to be the future of orbital communication. The Erebonian Empire is located to the west of Crossbell State and represented by the emblem of the Golden Stallion. The current emperor is Eugent Rhys Anor. Despite the empire's rule by an antiquated nobility structure, it has begun to modernise due to the railway expansion efforts of Gileath Osborne, a veteran now known as the Blood and Iron Chancellor. Between its mechanised armed forces and private forces at the command of the nobles, Erebonia has always strained with its neighbours. Last year, Prince Olivert, the Emperor's son, cooperated with Labelle to resolve a crisis there, becoming the talk of the Empire. The Fishermen's Guild is an organised group of anglers working to spread fishing enthusiasm. Mr. H. Fisher, former noble fishing fancier, founded the guild in Grantsell City. Their activities include seeking out and investigating fishing spots, recruiting and training new members, and in recent years developing new tools and bait. Great Collapse. The destruction of the ancient Sumerian civilization is estimated to have occurred 1200 years ago. While the Great Collapse is commonly attributed to a natural disaster, this theory remains unconfirmed. This ancient civilization's end marked the beginning of the Dark Ages. Holy City of Arteria, a city-state housing the high seat of the Septium Church. Arteria is located at the centre of the continent and acts as a gathering place for believers and church officials alike. The church comprises a number of organisations, including the Congregation for Divine Worship, which handles liturgical matters, the Congregation for the Sacraments, which handles administering the sacraments of the goddess, and the Papal Guard, which is responsible for protecting the holy city of Arteria itself. The 100 Days' War was a war of aggression waged by the Empire against the Liberl Kingdom in 1192. The name is drawn from the 100 days between the start of the war and its church-mediated end. Initially, Liberl appeared to be at a significant disadvantage, with the Empire occupying a majority of their territory, but a single operation using then new patrol airships turned the tide of battle. The reasoning for the war is not public knowledge, but the Erebonian Empire has since formally apologised to Liberl, calling the war a mistake born from an unfortunate misunderstanding. The International Bank of Crossbell is a large banking organisation which manages the vast quantities of money flowing into Crossbell and supports the economies of nations across the continent. The IBC's interests extend beyond banking too. In addition to providing most of the funding for the Epstein Foundation's Orbital Network project, the bank manages theme parks and other similar diversions. Jaeger Corps. Incredibly skilled mercenary groups which can be found all over the continent are known as Jaeger Corps. Due to their combat proficiency and their willingness to take on morally grey contracts, they are often used as private armies. As such, several countries have passed laws against their hire and use. Lemon State, home to the Epstein Foundation and the birthplace of Professor C. Epstein himself. Lemon is a state in the centre of the Sumerian continent. It is also known for housing the headquarters of the Bracer Guild, which has branches all across Sumeria. The Liberl Kingdom is situated in the southwest part of the Sumerian continent. Rich in nature and history, the kingdom is ruled by the long-lived Queen Alicia II, a staunch advocate for peace. While a humble nation compared to those around it, its bountiful Septium reserves, advanced technological capabilities, and Queen Alicia's skillful diplomacy allow it to stand on equal footing with any other. Last year, a large object of unknown origin appeared above Valeria Lake, disabling orbits nationwide. This crisis was resolved through the joint efforts of the Royal Army and the Bracer Guild. Michelum is a newly popular luxury resort located southeast of Lake Elm. The IBC began developing the area 2 years ago, funding the construction of a high-class hotel and theme park. Michelum's very own mascot character, is growing increasingly popular with citizens and tourists alike. The Non-Aggression Pact was an international treaty proposed by Queen Alicia II and signed in 1202 by the Liberl Kingdom, Erebonian Empire, and Calvard Republic in Liberl's third royal villa. While not legally binding, the pact has had a powerful effect, bringing an end to large-scale Erebonian and Calvardian military exercises near Crossbell, and decreasing tensions between each nation. Orbal arts are a kind of magic which can be activated by inserting quartz into a battle orbment, a combat-ready orbment developed by the Epstein Foundation. These arts, as they are commonly known, are widely used by armies, police forces, and bracers across the continent for their ease of use. Sufficient training can give anyone access to their incredible power. The Orbital Network project is an effort by the Epstein Foundation to develop a network in which vast quantities of information can be exchanged between computers using a series of orbital cables. While initially a joint effort between the Epstein Foundation and Liberl's ZCF, the IBC is currently bankrolling the project. As a result, the network is currently being tested in Crossbell City. The Orbital Revolution was a technological revolution that was brought about 50 years ago by the invention of orbments. The public was initially skeptical of this technological leap, but the invention of the Orbital telephone by the Epstein Foundation and ZCF's Orbital airships quickly proved orbments' practical value. Orbments have since become an essential part of our daily lives. Orbital technology powers everything from essentials like heating and lighting to transport vehicles to even modern weaponry. What's more, advancements in technology have decreased the size of orbital engines, leading to the development of more capable and affordable consumer-level automobiles by the Verne and Rhineford companies. Orbment is a general term for devices that operate by drawing orbital energy from septium. This technology was invented by Professor C. Epstein. The internal structure of an orbment allows it to interact with quartz, which in turn is manufactured from septium. This design allows for the manufacture of orbments with nearly limitless potential. Between their flexibility and ability to recover their internal orbal energy over time, orbits are significantly more efficient than combustion engines. Phantom Thief B is an elusive thief who has stolen everything from jewels to orbal tanks from people and organizations across Sumeria. His strange, almost beautiful methods have given rise to a small dedicated fanbase. Though he sends messages to his intended targets and makes public appearances clad in a white cape and mask, B's identity remains a mystery. He calls his recent unusual thefts the liberation of beauty. Principality of Remiferia is located in the northern part of Sumeria. Though a tough northern country with a cold climate, it is blessed with abundant forests and lakes, making it an attractive place for visitors looking for picturesque landscapes. It is also known for its highly advanced medical technology and is home to the continent's leading medical manufacturers and specialists. Crossbow State's famous St. Ursula Medical College was founded in cooperation with the Principality of Remiferia. A quartz is a circuit with a crystalline structure made by refining and processing septium fragments known as sepith. While quartz are both an energy source and capable of producing a variety of phenomena, without the use of an orbit they are completely powerless. The Rhineford Company was initially a gunpowder-based weapons manufacturer based out of the Erebonian Empire and known for its cannons and heavy firearms. Since the Orbal Revolution, however, it has expanded its operation to include railways and airships. This expansion has made it one of the continent's two largest companies, rivaled only by Calvert's Verne Company. The Septim Church is the most widespread religion in Sumeria and is based on the worship of the sky goddess Adios. Its high seat is in the holy city of Arteria. Although its influence has decreased somewhat since the Orbal Revolution, it still has a significant presence in the continent's education and health systems. The word septium encompasses 7 types of precious stones mined across Sumeria. Viewed as symbols of mystery since ancient times, their value as a resource shot up practically overnight when the technology to refine sepith, or septium fragments, into quartz was developed. The Verne Company is a massive company headquartered in the Calvard Republic. Like its industrial rival, the Rhineford Company, the Verne Company was a storied arms manufacturer that expanded into orbal research and development after the Revolution. Particularly worth noting are the company's innovative approaches to the development of orbal vehicles such as orbal cars and buses. The Zeiss Central Factory, or ZCF, was founded as the Zeiss Engineering Factory in Liberl Kingdom's Zeiss City by Professor A. Russell, a disciple of the great Professor Epstein. ZCF was the very first orbit manufacturer to successfully develop an airship. They recently completed work on the high-speed cruiser, the Arcel, a feather in the cap of the Royal Liberlian Army.